Hi everyone! Thank you as always for watching. I'm really excited about this video because it has been highly requested for a few months now. It is my drugstore makeup tutorial. I wasn't really sure what kind of look to do, but I figured it's the tail end of spring and we're getting into summer and it's also prom season, so I thought about all that and this is what I came up with. So I hope you love it. If you do, be sure to share and give it a thumbs up and just keep watching to see how I achieve the look. Okay, so I'm starting out with a clean, bare face, and I'm going to go in with a moisturizer and SPF first. This is by Purpose. It's a very mild, just kind of standard moisturizer. Just get that on and let it sink in. So now we can move right into the foundation. Now when I was looking for foundations, I was drawn to this CoverGirl foundation, truthfully because it was on sale for $4.49, so I was like, I have to check this out. I picked up $3.42 and $3.55, and $3.55 actually ended up matching me much better. It's really lightweight, but it gives me a good amount of coverage, and it's actually a nice matte finish. So you can see it's got kind of a moussey texture to it. Moussey? Now I'm going to take my EcoTools brush. This is a multitasking brush, but I am going to use this for my foundations. So I'm just going to go in and in a circular motion buff that into my skin. Oh, and if you notice my nail polish, it is also a drugstore nail polish. It's by Maybelline. I think it's the Color Show polish, and the color is called Lust for Lilac. Alright, that does it for the foundation. Now I'm going to move into the concealer. Now the concealer I picked up is this Maybelline Instant Age Rewind concealer, and I actually got it because I saw a lot of other YouTubers using it and they seem to love it. It's got this sponge applicator, so you just have to click the product up a couple of times and then go right in and apply it with the sponge. So to blend this out, I'm going to take this mini brush from EcoTools and sort of pat blend that. Now it's time for the bronzer. For my bronzer, I'm going to be using two different bronzers, and I keep both of these in my Z palette right here. This is sort of my blush bronzer kind of palette. I'm going to be using this duo right here as well as the Physicians Formula Shimmer Strip. So I'm dipping into that bronzer first. I'm just going to go in and do some very light contouring. I don't want to do anything too heavy duty today. So with that same brush, I'm just going to go into the Physicians Formula Shimmer Strip, and this one is a good dupe for the Bobbi Brown Shimmer Brick, and this will just go everywhere, very lightly. Alright, now we're moving on to blush. For my blush, I'm using one of the standard NYX blushes, and it's called Apricot. This is a really, really pretty spring blush. And of course, I'm using an EcoTools blush brush. Of course, I can't move on without highlighting. That's my favorite part of any makeup look. So I'm taking my EcoTools fan brush and a NYX baked eyeshadow. I know it's a little weird, but this color is called Easy Rider, and it's a kind of golden, white gold shimmer. So I'm gonna give that a tap so I don't get too much on there, and just add that to the tops of my cheekbones. It just gives me such a beautiful glow, but it's not too much. I don't know if you can see right there. Okay, that does it for the face. Now I'm gonna move on to the eyes. So for the sake of saving time, I've got one eye done, and I'm going to show you how I did it on the other eye. For my primer, I'm going to use that same concealer that I used for my under eyes. I'm just going to pat that onto my lid. And then again, with the same brush that I used to blend out my under eyes, I am also going to blend out this concealer just all over up to my brows as well. For my first shadow, I'm going for a peachy champagne tone. So I'm using this NYX eyeshadow, and it's called Sex Kitten. And I'm just using an eyeshadow brush from EcoTools. So I'm just going to dip that in there and pat it all over my lids, or lid, up to my crease. Next, I'm going to apply Stiletto, also by NYX, to my crease. It may not look like it's a whole lot darker than that last color I used, but I just need it to be slightly darker just so it acts as my transition color and adds a little bit of depth to my crease. I am going to be building on this with a darker color, so it'll make it easier to blend. Now for the fun part, the pop of color. I'm going to be using two NYX eyeshadows. One is called Epic and the other is called Ultraviolet. One's just a little bit darker than the other, and the reason I'm using two colors is just because I want to create just a slight gradient effect that darkens up at the outer corners. So I'm going to take this smudge brush and dip into Epic, and I'm going to be using this color Wet, so I'm just going to give that a couple sprays. Using it wet is just going to really intensify the color. So I'm starting at the inner part of my bottom lash line and just working my way out. And now with the same brush going into Ultraviolet, I'm going to do pretty much the same thing. Give it a spray. And now this time I'm really just going to focus this on the outer corners, just about until the middle part of my bottom lash line. And now I do want to blend this just a little bit, so I'm taking this itty bitty brush from EcoTools. This one also comes in the 6-piece Essential Eye Set, and I'm dipping into that same transition color. Again, it's called Stiletto. And I'm just going to use that to blend it out just a little bit, just to fuse that line. Now for my liner, I'm using the Maybelline Eye Studio gel liner. It's black, and I'm using this EcoTools brush. It may not look like a typical liner brush, but I like it because it's pointed, so it gives me a lot of control and precision. So I'm just going to dip into that gel liner, and the first place I'm going to hit is the inner rim of the top lash line. And now from here, I'm just going to go ahead and draw my winged liner. Nothing too fancy. And once we get to the inner corner, I'm really not going to make the line very thick. Just a very thin line to define the lash line. So I'm taking this Infinite Shadow Stick by NYX, and the color is Chocolate. So it's just a nice dark brown. And I'm going to work that into the outer V of my crease, and also use it to blend out that liner just a little bit. So with the stiff side of this double-ended brush, I'm going to go in and start diffusing those edges and just blending out that liner. So I'm blending everything inward. And for the sake of really blending it out, I'm going to take the other side of that brush and go into Loaded, also by NYX. It's just a nice dark brown shadow. I'm just going to use that to go over that Infinite Shadow Stick and blend out even more. Alright, one final thing for the eyes before I move on to the lashes. Remember that shadow I used for my highlight? I'm going to take this small brush and dip into that. And this is going to go right at the center of my lids. Again, this is the highest point of my eyelids, so it catches the most light. And I'm also going to add that just a little bit to the inner corners of my eye as well. For my mascara, I picked up the Revlon Lash Potion. It's my first time trying it, and I'm actually pretty impressed with it. It's probably not the best drugstore mascara I've used, but it is a really good, solid mascara. For the lashes, I went with the Wispies by Ardell. These are really long, feathery lashes, and I love that style. So I'm just going to pop this on and just lower them onto my lash line. Now we are done with the eyes. For the lips, I picked up this Revlon Color Burst Matte Balm. I have this in a more vibrant, brighter pink, and I love the formula, so I decided to pick up this color. It's called Elusive. It's more of a dusty rose, and it's perfect for spring, summer. Just gonna pop that on. So that is it for my drugstore makeup tutorial. I really hope you guys enjoyed it, and I don't tell you guys often enough how much I appreciate you. Thank you so much for supporting my channel and watching my videos. It means the world to me. So from the bottom of my heart, thank you so much. I love you guys.